Okay, everybody, welcome to another edition of TEW 2020 here on YouTube with the Local to Global series as we're now in April. So let's get started with the show here in Southern Lights Wrestling, another fun show from Hobart, Australia, as we try to continue our quest from being the smallest company in the world, starting from basically the toughest place, up to possibly a global powerhouse by the time this all ends. Show is booked, so let's get rolling. So the show starts out with Black Flash coming out and basically saying, Mortimer Pile, you think you're cool because you just sneak in and hit a pile driver on me at the last show. Well, if you got any fight in you, you'll show up here at the next edition of Saturday Wrestling and you'll fight me right there in that ring. So this gets an 18, mainly because Black Flash rolled bad as far as his scripting one, but that's unfortunately what you have to do, and he has low morale at the moment, but hopefully we'll fix that by having him on both shows. Then in our opening match we have Hack the Hunter defeating Quick Mercury Morris in 618 by pinfall with the epic side suplex. So Mercury Morris debuted his hyperactive annoyance gimmick. It got initial rating of very good. This match got the crowd hotter, and yeah, nothing special about the gimmick. And then Hack took the mic and screamed "Hack," because that's what Hack does. Again, if you remember 1990s ECW, you understand what I'm doing with him. But this got a 25, so perfectly solid. And yeah, we got 24 people, which is good considering the economy is going down, I think. And then in a tag team match, which was basically something to get some people on the show and also just to test some tags out, see if, how well people would do. So we have Dazzler and Leon Main defeating Armando Guerrero and Francis Burke in 903 when Dazzler pinned Francis Burke with a dazzling neck swing. So basically, I see this being your typical tag match. Burke selling, Armando getting the shine and the hot tag, it breaking down to a 4-way. Dazzler having some sort of neck snap on the ropes, so it's clean but not super clean, and managing to hit the dazzling neck swing on Burke to pick up the victory. So Burke got a 39, Armando got a 36, Dazzler got a 38, Main was sort of the odd man out with a 16. But, really good match, 28, especially for, what we're looking at here. And then we've got, in another tag team match, again, just to sort of test things out, we've got the official debut of the Buchanan Boys as a tag team, as they take on Hank Greer and Jonathan Wesker. And Hank Greer and Jonathan Wesker defeat Bounce and Flip Buchanan 825. When Jonathan Wesker pinned Flip Buchanan with the follow-away slam. This gets a 22, mainly because Wesker isn't that good yet. Greer did okay with a 26, and the Buchanan's got a 26 and a 23. And his gimmick was adequate. Okay. And then we have a promo where basically, Greer and Wesker are doing their post-match celebration. Greer being sort of a, just being a cocky youth, and Wesker flexing like he does. And CRD comes out and claps and then walks away. So that gets a 31. Again, continuing angle of CRD, looking for a couple of people to manage. And then we've got Lancelot making an open challenge, and then Christian Blythe, who basically is an up and coming, Australian independent worker, comes out, says, I'll if you want a match mate, then let's do this. His next gen gimmick got a rating of adequate, so small penalty to star quality, nothing that bad, but it got a 20 because Lot's not a great talker and Blythe isn't that over yet. But in the actual match, which was Jesus Christ, that was really good. Probably going to be our best match of the night. Lancelot defeated Christian Blythe in 941 by pinfall with a handful of tights. So this gets a 42 because both guys are really good, and yeah, just a really good match. And then we've got, in our main event of the show, we've got the Kipper, because this came out from a show 2 weeks ago when basically, Blaze beat up Kipper after a tag win by the Kipper Lone Rider. And so we had the Kipper defeating Blaze Maxwin in 14-19 by pinfall, the Lariat, following botched interference by Dazzler. So this was done using storytelling, and Kipper got a 35, Blaze got a 28, and the overall was a 33. So basically, this is a back and forth, Blaze cheating to keep advantage, Kipper fighting back. But in the end, Dazzler comes out to help, but he and Blaze Maxwin box in. Kipper's able to hit his Lariat, and that's that. But then as the Kipper is celebrating. Somebody jumps in, well, not from the crowd, but from the back, and it's, yes, former MMA fighter and MMA douche Rob Edwards jumps in, attacks attacks the Kipper, starts beating him up, and Blaze Maxim just laughs hilariously as the show ends. Before the various officials, and by officials I mean like two, come out and get Rob Edwards off. So this gets a 25. Not the best angle, but Edwards isn't really out over, so I did mostly on Menace, but there you go. So this gets us a 33. So let's first give Leon a great performance. Let's give, who else are we looking at here? Yeah, we'll give, actually, let's do Armando and Francis for also, because they dropped. So yeah, Lot seemed pleased, Armando seemed pleased. Let's just see if anything interesting happened after the show. Maximum Carnage. He's a guy. Let's see here. Nope, no mail or anything. So I'll be right back in a second here. And with the other show of the month. So to continue the fun with Local Global, we'll be right back with the second half of the show. Or rather, second half of the month. Okay, everybody, now it's time for show 2 for the month of April. So let's get rolling. So we start out with another, basically, let's test some tag teams out, 2 people together as tag teams, just to see what happens. But anyway, we've got Lancelot and Jonathan Whisker defeating Bounce Buchanan and Flip Buchanan in 9:39 when Whisker pinned Bounce Buchanan with the fallaway slam. This gets a 26, Lot gets a 35, Whisker gets a 19, the Buchanan's gets a 20-something, so solid stuff to open things up. And this hopefully gets Lot out of not being so chilly after I sort of jobbed him out the first couple of weeks before I hired the people to actually be jobbers, as opposed to the people I actually kind of want to push. Then we have the debut of XS. So his gimmick is basically he's a TikTok star. So he comes out doing social, doing a TikTok as he comes out to the ring. But this time he comes out, basically, he flirts with, Siri D, says, come on, I'm a social media star. You're a star. Let's be together. And, she's sort of like smiling at him. Out comes Reggie Hammer to sort of actually do the match. So XS worked the crowd well. Siri D worked the crowd well. And if we look at things, extremely remarkable gimmick, and gives a large boost to Kinra. There we go. And then this gets us 23. And this was basically the idea is XS is in the ring, talking outside of the ring to Siri D, who's ringside, and he's flirting, throwing up his phone, and Reggie Hammer just comes behind and just beats him up, just whips his ass. And 451, Reggie Hammer wins with Hammer Jammer, gets a 12 because again, 2 not totally over guys. This was booked as a squash for Reggie Hammer, so Reggie got a 26 and XS got a 22. Then we have our tag team match. I forgot to take Keith Cole off as a rotation. Not the end of the world. Anyway, Hang 10, Lucas Pope, and Jesse Tasman defeat Leon Main and Hank Greer in 827. Again, this is just to test people out as far as tag teams. In 827, when Lucas Pope pinned Hank Greer with a spinning angled slam, Lucas Pope gets a 41, Tasman gets a 35, Greer gets a 25, Main gets a 20, so this gets 27 overall. And then basically we have a quick post-match promo by the Surfer tag team, who's basically says, "Hang dang mates, we're here for the long haul until everyone likes wrestling, and we're just here to fight any tag team that wants to take us on, and have a good time doing it." So this gets a 43. So remember last week, Rob Edwards attacked the Kipper after he had beat Blaze Maximum. So now, as a result, Rob Edwards has taken on the Kipper's sort of younger tag team partner, Lone Rider. And in 748, Rob Edwards submits Lone Rider in 748. So this gets a 28. Lone Rider's off his game, but solid win for Edwards. So basically what happens here is Edwards keeps the hold on, Kipper like basically runs out to save, but from behind him, Blaze Maxim basically, is ready for him and just comes from behind, hits him with an axe handle, then throw him into like, basically throws him into the ring apron, knock him down, and then, maniacally laughs again, as again referees, well not referees, but like two officials come out, including, myself as a cleric maker, sort of to take Edwards off of Lone Rider. So that gets a 27. Then in our main event of the evening, Black Flash defeats Mortimer Pyle in 1507. Mortimer Pyle got intentionally disqualified. So basically, like, near the end of the match, Black Flash has the advantage. So, Pyle, basically, Pyle cheats to get this advantage, then he rolls outside, grabs a chair, and just wallops Black Flash with a chair from behind. Ruff immediately called for the DQ, but it's too late for that, as we have Mortimer going to go for the pile driver on the chair on Black Flash to finally end things, when out of nowhere out come Jesse Tasman, Hang Ten, Lucas Pope to make the save. Mortimer Pyle runs off, and in the show basically, they help Flash up and basically make the indication they want a 6-man tag. So that gets a 39. So solid stuff. So this gets a 37. So again, let's give Black Flash, make him happy. What was the other really good match? It was shockingly good. Let's give XS a good performance. And let's give Lancelot something for a good performance. So, we'll probably end the month here just to see what our money situation and what our popularity situation looks like by the end of the month. But first we'll see what happens here with the actual post-match stuff. So, no mail, nothing else. So we'll just go another day, just to finish off the month, and then we'll do some quick checks of everything. Because that's one thing I have been sort of forgetting to do, is basically doing a month-end check on stuff, just to sort of update you guys who are watching on what's going on here. So, it's just taking a moment here to all load up, since this is the end of the month stuff, as we're into May. So, Boris, okay, that's interesting. Critico, okay, is that Ollie? Okay, cool. But anyway, so, looking here. So, first, looking at our creative. So Lucas Pope is our #1 guy. And see, this is the interesting thing, because everybody's, not really over yet. Basically, whoever's hot that month immediately becomes, like... So Edwards got, like, a strong push for the last 2 shows. So all of a sudden, he's our #1 heel. Black Flash is still one of our top guys. So is Blaze. But our Source-Up tag team is sort of our top guys. Talk is Pope, Maximum, Carrie D, Christian Blythe, who came in with our job with the Stars, but might actually be a mid card. Same thing with Maine. These two are like the opposite corners. Like, they're probably better than the push I'm going to give them at first, but I'll see what happens. Showstoppers, Flash, Maxim, Pope, Brooke Guerrero. Who's hot is Pope, Kipper, Pyle, Hack, and Edwards. Who's not is Greer, Lot, Burke, Ryder, and Dazzler. So if we then look at our actual, well, the only storylines we're really doing is this sort of storyline involving the top 4 guys, and it's doing well. Then we look at our roster. So if we look at the perception, so we got a whole bunch of major stars, a couple of stars, a couple of well-known people, and one recognized guy who's XS. And the unimportant people are basically people who've, like, either Sir D, who's just a manager, has been involved in, like, an actual angle, and, like, a road agent, and our announcer we're not using really anymore. But if we look at momentum, so we have 4 very warm people: Hack, Pyle, Kipper, and Pope, which all sort of makes sense. A bunch of warm people, some neutral people, including our ref and stuff. So cool people, we got the Buchanan, which is okay because they're our dropper tag team. Tasman, who we sort of probably need to push a little more. Our former announcer, Dazzler, who's been sort of on the back end, so might need a little bit of a push. Chili is Lone Rider, who probably needs, he probably needs a couple wins just to get back to, the top. Burke and Lot, Burke and Lot are going to be sort of like a long range thing because they just need help. And then Hank Greer, who's just cold. Morale wise, so here's the one thing I've sort of noticed is that my 2 top guys, basically, or as far as being paid, so Flash and Maxim basically want to wrestle on every show. They're not happy if they're just on there talking. They want to be actually on the show. Then if we do a quick look through like our actual popularity wise, so Morris is, so Armando's at a 14 in Tasmania. Black Flash is down to 25. Maximum is down to an 18. Tasmania is up to 6, 4, 1. Blythe is up to an 8. Dells still at a 19. Barker's at a 12. Hack's actually putting over here. He's at a 12. Pope is at a 17. Greer's at a 11. Tasman also at a 17. Wesker's up to a 12. Let's see here. Lot is to 13. Main's 11. Ryder's 11. Piles down to 17. Hammer's up to 8. Edwards is up to 13. Kipper's up to 25. Or vice versa. And XS is to a 3. So, again, no titles yet. Events TV doesn't matter. Pre-booking, show history, backstage. We still got a solid backstage. Let's see here. Finance. So, yeah. So we lost a little more money only because we spent a little more money on folks. Our show costs are about the same. Marketing's, everything else is the same. Our sponsors have gone up, so that's a positive. Merch is about the same, Ticket sales did go up as well because we were going cheap, but it wasn't really affecting our draw that much. So merchandise, owner goals, production, right size. So we're up to a 5 in Tasmania, which again is nothing, but this is early days. But yeah, that's it for now. So I'll see you in a little bit for another edition of this Local to Global. And of course, I've got my CWA save also in the Cornellverse. The MLW thing I'm doing via Twitch and then posting the results. Then, in a couple days here, you should finally see the Starcade for my WCW 2001 save. And as we finish things out, moving that over to TEW 2020 and continuing that on, and, whatever else I decide to do. So that's all for now. So, go and give this a like, comment down below if you're enjoying things, or subscribe to the channel. See you later, and adios.